If you're spending hours and hours putting a bid together only to lose the job, you got a big problem. And it has everything to do with you and your bidding process. You're listening to Success Unleashed, where we show contractors how to grow a 7 or 8-figure business. My name is Garrett Bake, and I've helped over 1,000 contractors and trade business owners just like you put the people, processes, and plan in place to create ultimate freedom. Welcome to the show. It's funny, as I put these podcasts together, I used to think it was much more about like the intro and like the, me talking about how awesome I am and everything, and like nobody cares, right? And like this is actually going to be part of the podcast episode, and I'm totally cool with it, right? Because what I realized is like shiny, flashy, shiny objects, like all this stuff, like nobody cares about it. What they care are, do you have something that can help me solve a problem? That's what they care about. And so a lot of my stuff is just becoming way more just down to earth. Am I going to kick you in the balls? Yeah, probably. That's just my style, right? I'm just very direct. Am I educational? Yes. Will I help you? Yes. But man, accountability is a huge part of the puzzle. So if you haven't figured that out yet, that's why you're here, right? You're not here for me to make you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. You're here because someone's got to kick you in the balls and get you to do the thing that you know you should be doing. And today's no different, right? We talk about bidding. This is one of the biggest frustrations that I have. Not just with the clients that we work with, the contractors and the trade business owners, but in our commercial consulting company as well. Bidding. I can tell you that I've gotten bids in the last 3 months for jobs that are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. That one guy sent it to me on, the Notes app inside of your iPhone. He sent it to me. He speaks Spanish, right? But he sent it to me in Spanish in the Notes app in his phone. That was his bid. This was like a $45,000 framing bid. That's what he sent me. I've had bids sent to me inside of QuickBooks that say drywall, $27,000. I've had bids sent to me that don't have any information as far as the business that's sending it to me other than their name. There's no address, there's no phone number, there's no nothing. And it's completely incomplete. I've had bids sent to me that we're looking at multiple bids, and these people are either hundreds of thousands of dollars low or hundreds of thousands of dollars high. Like, I've seen it all. That's the ugly side. But I've also seen some super organized, structured, clean bids, right? Now, I will tell you this. You get one shot to make a first impression. One, that's it. I'm forgiving because, again, I play in this world a lot. And so I understand where people are at, right? So I'm much more forgiving. But a lot of these guys aren't. A lot of the homeowners aren't, right? And so the fact that you can't get your bids right, whether it's to look right, sound right, be accurate, right, or professional, whatever the thing is, if you can't get your numbers right, if you can't get your bids right, you're not going to land any jobs. Period, right? It's a bigger problem than you think it is. And the most important part of this whole thing, sure, I talk about, what it looks like and structure and whatnot. You can get a program out there, you can fix it, and you can make it look pretty. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to be accurate, right? It has to be accurate. Too high, no bueno. Too low, no bueno, right? You want to be in the range. So let me give you a couple of hints or things that you can use. Okay, number one and most important. If you're working with a homeowner, most homeowners are getting multiple bids, right? The days of just getting one bid are out the door. We're getting our HVAC system fixed. For some reason, my master bedroom is hotter than balls in the summer. I don't know why it is. In the living room, it's cold, right? Like, I don't even know what's going on. So we have some companies, not a company, companies coming out to look at it. Why? Because I need to make sure that I don't get screwed. That's the homeowner's perspective. I need to make sure I don't get screwed, right? So they're going to get multiple bids. So your numbers need to be accurate, okay? If you're working with builders, developers, remodelers, right, that realm, they're going to get multiple bids, right? Which is why you end up on people's bid list. But if you're wondering why you're not getting a call back, there's a couple different reasons. One would be the marketing side, which we've talked about before, and I'll leave for another conversation. You need to build a relationship there. But number two is going to be the accuracy of your numbers. when we get multiple bids for framing, drywall, roofing, whatever the thing is, guess what happens every single time? We throw out the guy who's super low. We don't want the cheapest. Why? Because he probably doesn't know his numbers are going to lose money, and or he's going to try and change order us to death. Okay. Number two, the high guy, right? The guy that's most expensive. That's not what we're looking for what we do. Okay. You can be the most expensive if that is the business that you've built and you can prove why you're the most expensive and why people should use you because you are the most expensive. That's a different conversation. Okay. But more importantly, if your numbers aren't accurate and you're not in that middle ground, you don't even have a shot at landing the job. Okay. Now, this isn't about being the cheapest and it's not about being the most expensive. It's about having an accurate bid. Okay. So understand this. Okay. Number one, get your bid in on time as quickly as possible. I've seen the extremes, right? I've seen the extremes with clients that I work with. One guy, right? He was a remodeler. He would purposely send empty bids because it bought him a few extra days, right? Literally, he would send a bid over that's empty. Here's your bid. Send it over. And they're like, wait a minute, there's nothing in here. He's like, oh, must have been a glitch in the computer, right? But it would buy him a couple extra days to actually get the bid done, right? But we also have clients now that do same day bids. Remodelers, same day bids. What's the difference between the two? Well, the difference between the two is one understands their numbers and the process on how to get those accurate numbers as quickly as possible. And the other one is just winging it. So here's the first question I have for you is, where do you fall in this spectrum? Are you the just wing it guy? You know, throwing it on the back of a napkin, guessing like, because of the wind and it's Thursday, $12,000, right? Are you the guy who understands his numbers and knows that if it's this type of work that I'm doing, here's how much it's going to cost, right? Accurate, accurate, accurate. Which, by the way, for most of you, if you can't do same day bidding, you got problems. You're losing jobs. Because if people have you coming out to their house, odds are they're ready to buy right now. And they don't want to wait until next week or next month to get your numbers to be able to make that decision. Okay? So how do we do this? Okay? Imagine for a moment that you're able to put a bid together accurately and quickly and then submit it. Show it to them. Get them to sign off, get that deposit. That's what we all want. Okay? How do we make it work? Number one is the prep. And this is the most important part. And you're going to hate it because I know how much you hate to prep. This is your morning. You get out of bed, you wake up, you grab coffee or an energy drink, and then you're hitting the gas station to fill up your tank and probably grabbing a burrito too. And that's your prep for the day. And then you grab this thing and you're like, all right, here we go. You know, issues, problems, employees, jobs, whatever, right? Like that's how your day goes. So number one, most importantly, is your prep. What do I mean by prep? Two things. The first is knowing your numbers. It's not just material expense and labor expense. You have overhead, right? And your overhead expenses would include office, it would include insurance, it would include vehicle costs, right? All these things are included in your overhead expenses. If you don't know how much it's actually costing you to run your business, you're probably losing money on your jobs. Even if on paper it shows that you're making money, okay? So understand your numbers first. So you know that I need to charge X number of dollars an hour, or I need to be at this dollar amount in order to be profitable for these jobs. Okay. So number one, get that prep work done. You need to know ahead of time your labor, your materials, and your overhead. Okay. Now, the second thing is you need to determine what margin, not markup, margin you want for your jobs. How much money do I want to end up with after I pay all my bills? I pay my supplier, I pay my guys, I pay my insurance company, whatever. How much do I have left over? Determine what that number is first, okay? Some of you are at 40%, that's amazing. Some of you are at 6%, ooh, not so good, right? But figure out what that number is. Now you have a number system, or you have a way that you can bid accurately, okay? That's the first part. The second part, equally as important, okay? How are you putting these bids together? It's 2025. If you don't have a CRM, shame on you. You can get one for $15-20 a month, right? Super simple, allows you to put the type of work that you do regularly, including the associated cost, into the system already. So all you have to do is push the buttons and say, oh, we have 100 squares on this roof. Let me put this. We already know the calculation for the cost for labor, material, and overhead for a square. Boom, that's all in there accurately. Here you go, Mrs. Jones, right? If you don't have it broken down in a way for you to be able to do that, shame on you. Grab a CRM. Now, there's a couple of CRMs that I recommend depending on what type of business you are, but there are some that are specialized for your type of business, right? Find the one that works for you. Don't be cheap about it either. Like if you're doing $1 million jobs, you need a higher end CRM, period. If most of your jobs are 500 to 1,000, maybe a couple thousand, you don't need that much, okay? But find the one that works for you. So accurate numbers and the ability to bid accurately and quickly are the two things that are going to determine your success or not. I will tell you right now, the biggest frustration that we have when we deal with subs is the speed at which they get us their bid and the accuracy of that bid. That's the biggest frustration, okay? And I will tell you that we always tend to lean towards the people that can do the things that we ask them to do the right way, because if they can do it prior to the job, there's a high likelihood that they're going to run their jobs the same way. Just saying. So listen, end of the day, you want to win more jobs, get better at bidding. Bid accurately, bid quickly. You're going to land more jobs. You're going to watch your business grow. All right. You know what time it is. It's time to get after it. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. If you're serious about growing your contracting business, and let's be real, if you made it to the end of this episode, you are. We've got a free community built just for you. Inside, you'll get access to exclusive courses, live coaching calls, and in-person events that will give you the tools to scale with confidence. Click the link below to join us, and I'll see you on the inside.